Hey Matt, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Um, it's not been a good week today, Coach Matt. I've been having a hard time at my job because we have a lot of students moving in.
Mhm.
Upcoming college semester is about to start, and I just feel like I'm so behind with work. Um, there's so many deadlines that my supervisors are demanding of me, and I just don't feel like I have enough time to complete all my tasks by Monday of this upcoming week.
Yeah. Um, so I hear it's been a pretty crazy week with students moving in
Yeah,
um, as the semester begins. Yeah, I mean, it's that time of year, right? Um, and that's caused a big burden of work for you. Um, I hear that you've got a lot of tasks that are being handed to you by your leader, your supervisors.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything's fast paced. I'm running 3 to 4 different workshops, one being
Mhm.
collaborative with another colleague of mine, and the
Yeah.
other one I'm running those independently. And I have to talk in front of 65 to 70 professionals for 14 days. So
Yeah.
I'm like, my goodness, where am I going to find the energy for this?
Yeah. Is this, I mean, is this something that happens or has happened before?
It has, but I feel like I'm more tired this time. I
Yeah.
feel like I didn't have enough time to prepare compared to last year, and I would say maybe that's because I'm just coming off of a vacation. I want to say about 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I'm still adapting to being back from the.
Yeah. So with the vacation kind of setting you back and you just feel out of the flow, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't have the desire to really want to work. I don't. I know it sounds embarrassing. Like I want to work, but I just don't have that desire or mental state to where I'm able to put myself in that mind frame to just do the job.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm taking a few notes here if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
I am listening. I am taking notes.
Um, yeah, I just feel like things are very fast paced right now,
Yeah.
and because
So
of good.
you didn't use this word, but what I hear is a sense of overwhelm.
Very
Would that
much
be
so.
accurate?
Yes, I am very overwhelmed.
Okay. So I hear you um I hear trying to manage your work and your school responsibilities and also this
Jet lag.
lack of desire, general apathy around work right now. Is there a specific portion of this that you feel is most pressing? As I repeat this back to you, is there a portion of that feels more pressing than the other?
just
That
being
maybe
able
you
to
connect
meet
with and want to deep dive?
just being able to meet the deadlines of my job. Um, like the work's already done in a sense of me having to prepare presentations.
Mhm.
I just feel like there's last minute things that my supervisor are giving me where I don't feel like I have to work outside of my normal work hours to complete these tasks. And I think that's what's causing me the most overwhelming sensation.
Yeah. So, if if you were to put an emotion behind this, right? How are you feeling right now? And where in your body are you feeling it?
I'm feeling frustrated and I feel it in my like shoulders, like very tight, like very
Yeah. So one thing I like about understanding our emotions is that feeling of frustration, akin to anger, um, usually pops up for folks when um, when you can't have something that you want, right? You're being told that you can't have it. Um, if that were true in this case, what is it you think that you're looking for right now? What is it that you want in this scenario?
I want another day of rest or an extension that will allow
Mm.
me to take my time in completing tasks.
Why is it important to you to take your time completing tasks?
That way, I'm not rushing through work. That way, I'm not providing sloppy work. Like, I want my work to be done well. I want
Mm.
it to be done correctly. I
Mm.
want to be able to, convey the work that I'm doing that shows that I care. And I feel like by me not being able to rest and take the time to reflect on my duties and responsibilities, I'm not showing. I won't. It's like I'm showing a form of not caring about the work that I do. Like my mood
Mm.
completely goes 180.
Do you find yourself making mistakes, or do you just continue to burn the candle at both ends to make sure that they don't drop?
I'm making mistakes. Clearly it's
Okay.
embarrassing. It's embarrassing, and I don't ever want to tell my supervisors, "Hey, I just completely dropped the ball on this." But then I
Mm.
don't want to I feel like I'm also a fear of retaliation of like, oh, that I kind of blame them for giving me all these additional tasks. Like, am I allowed to do that? Like, I guess there's some type of fear or caution behind, like how dare you give me these last minute tasks? Like I don't know.
Well, the last minute, it actually makes more sense. When thinking about it the way that you are, you want to have a pride in the product that you're putting out,
Mhm.
right? You want to be able to be proud of the work that you're doing. And it sounds to me like the Jacques that sits here today is not proud of the work that he's done this week.
No, I think I'm also becoming a lot more impatient because I haven't had
Mm.
time to do the work diligently
Yeah.
and intentionally.
So so talk to me about what you've already tried
Um,
to get that time for yourself.
I just been not sleeping in order to meet the demands of the job. So by me having to create additional PowerPoint presentations on roommate conflict um, workshops for students, addressing issues in residence halls, creating engaging workshops for students to understand how to navigate college in various settings, social settings, academic settings, and kind of teaching them how to kind of be independent away from their parents.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like there's just multiple subjects that it's impossible for me to cram and cram and complete in like what 3 days. Today's Thursday, Wednesday, so I have less than a week to have all this stuff done by Monday. And keep in
Yeah.
mind, I'm supposed to have a day off the weekend, but I don't think it's impossible for me to even have a weekend if I have to meet these deadlines by Monday. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
just I'm working nonstop without a break at this point in order to make that um those tasks done in a way that I need to.
Well, I think spending time focusing on yourself like you are right now
You know?
um, seems healthy for you.
Mhm.
Uh, I guess my one of the questions that's coming up for me here is, um, man, how are you defining success?
I'm a result type of person, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I do care
What
about the progress, but I like the then results of a product.
what is the result that you are looking for? What result looks like success?
Probably not an accolade, but some type of, I guess, affirmation or approval from, I guess, a supervisor or someone like, oh, good job putting this together, Jacques, from a visual perspective and from a audio perspective when it comes to conveying this workshop to this specific demographic. But I won't know about that until I actually um put the workshop on in front of the students. So a lot of it's just a lot of behind the scenes type of work I'm doing, but I won't know if I did a good job until after I put the workshop into like
Yeah.
actual, you know.
That that sounds like your success is dependent on somebody else seeing it.
Yeah, it is. I didn't consider that before.
Is that true?
Yeah, unfortunately, it is.
So you couldn't be proud of your work unless somebody else sees it and says, "Hey, good job."
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Okay. Okay. Um, if that's the case, if it's not delivered perfectly,
Mhm.
or you're not getting that recognition, right? Even if you feel like you delivered a really, really great workshop, um, what what might be the consequence
I
for
mean,
someone else?
probably just feedback and criticism, but
Mm.
I don't think I'm gonna get fired. There's nothing to that extreme. Like, just like, hey, just make sure you do it better or add this. I mean, most of these workshops are only going to happen once, maybe twice a year, so every 3 to 6 months. So, you
Mhm.
know, I still have a lot of time to make this better in case it doesn't happen again. I have
Yeah.
a working.
Have you have you done these workshops before or seen these workshops done before?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Um, I've been in this profession for years, so this is not my first radio, but I think what makes this year new is that we have a brand new system that we're trying to learn and implement from
Mhm.
the president. The way he wants to implement it, we have to cut a lot of things out that we didn't do before. I think that's what makes it challenging.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, there's people above me that are going to be watching how we convey certain workshops closely to make sure it's in line with the university's goals, mission statements, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm nervous. Or
So
uh,
I get that. Um, Jacques, is there something that you're avoiding here because it's uncomfortable? Are
avoiding.
you avoiding something?
I don't know if that would be rejection. I just don't like criticism. I guess maybe that would be it.
Okay.
Being told
I
I
mean,
would.
is it hypothetically, is it possible to say no or push back on some of the deadlines?
You know what? I never thought to ask. To be honest with you, I've been
Yeah.
so focusing on just trying to knock the work out that I never
Yeah.
asked. I never thought about it. You know, the worst they can say is no, right? I guess.
Right. Right. I think it's important to understand that boundaries are not telling someone else what they will do,
Hmm.
right? But telling someone else what we can do and what we will do, right?
Hmm.
Um, and so not that you need my experience here, but in my former profession, um, I would say yes a lot and take on a lot of extra work that my peers were not taking on.
Hmm.
And I would burn out faster than my peers. And then they would elevate or rise around me, right?
Hmm.
Because I wasn't able to say no. Um, I understand what that's about for me. It sounds like you just haven't thought of it. Is there is there another reason why you may not say? may not be willing to say no, or it may not be the top thing on your mind?
Maybe I just don't feel like I have the courage within myself to make that decision.
Mm,
Or I don't know, maybe I feel like I'll take it to the extreme and just say some things that I probably shouldn't say. That would probably
mm.
get me sent to HR.
Yeah, yeah. So, is there a way you could practice saying, "Hey, I don't have the bandwidth for that right now," or what's another way that you could approach your leaders about your workload and your bandwidth on the timeline that you have?
Yeah, probably just being honest with them. I think for first, I would want to write a script just to make sure
Yeah,
I'm able to convey my emotions in a professional way. You
yeah,
know, um, because I think we're all in a season where we're all trying to meet a goal. I think we all want
sure.
the same thing. I just feel like there may be a lapse in perspective from what the responses look like and their expectations for us. So I would
Yeah,
write a script. I think I would want to, I guess, say it in the mirror or practice with a peer or someone.
yeah,
That way I can just kind of see how it would come across.
yeah, yeah. I think that's wise. Um, do you feel like your leaders are prioritizing effectively? Do you feel like you're prioritizing effectively?
I don't know. I think when you're in the midst of things, I think you just I let a lot of things kind of fall to the side because
Yeah,
my self care, I sacrifice my self care for the class. So
yeah,
I'm probably, I would say the answer to your question is no.
yeah,
I'm saying no, but my brain's not taking the time to really consciously focus on my well being. Like my well being is the last on my priority list right now.
yeah. What types of things do you typically do for your own personal well-being, for stress
Oh,
relief?
sleep in. I love sleeping.
Yeah,
Sleeping in, listening to music, going for walks, reading, listening to Christian podcasts. Those provide me with a lot of encouragement and even really sharing my burdens with my friends and family.
yeah,
Someone that's wiser to provide
yeah.
me with a different perspective.
So when's the last time you did something like that? Took a walk or listened to a podcast?
It's been probably some weeks.
Okay.
I think I'm not back into my normal routine. I'm
Yeah,
completely thrown off.
yeah. I'll tell you, when I'm off my routine, things definitely feel amiss. Um, is there, I mean, how long of a walk do you typically take?
Uh, well, if we're focusing on a weekday compared to the weekend
Yeah.
I'm at least walking 30 minutes to an hour, just because
Okay.
I'm in no rush. If I'm working or if I'm in between lunches or just getting off of work, then I'll maybe reduce that to 30 minutes just around the corner around my neighborhood.
Yeah. Um, I mean, 30 minutes. Does that feel, when you say 30 minutes out loud, does that feel like a really long time or a really short time?
That seems pretty short.
Okay. Yeah. So, um, man, if 30 minutes could help, I'm not saying it will, but if 30 minutes that you spend on yourself listening to a podcast and taking a walk, if I recall, Jacques likes to take a walk with his camera too, right? Take some
Yeah,
pictures. Yeah.
I love photography.
Um, man, if you could find a way to fit that into your schedule this week, do you think that might help?
Oh yeah, I definitely believe I can do that at least this weekend for sure.
Yeah.
Even maybe do a little bit more than an hour, maybe an hour and 5 minutes. Something
Okay.
something a little extra. Just to make sure I feel like I'm giving myself the time I need to be in a better place mentally.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what might happen if you don't change your pattern over the last 2 weeks?
Probably more complaining, more burnout, Um, I'll probably say some things unprofessionally that'll probably get me sent to HR. I mean, who
Okay.
knows? I may even quit my job just because,
Mm,
like, you know what? I just don't want to do this anymore.
'cause you're that burnout. Is
Yeah.
that is that what you really want to do?
No, I don't want to quit. I love what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I see that in you, right? I see uh, the desire to coach and bring up those around you, right? Especially these new. I mean, I know we've talked before. I know your passion around
Yeah.
these youth, these young adults that are coming in and trying to find their way. So I imagine that once you get into next week and actually get into the workshops, you're going to feel a little different than this week. But this week, Jacques has to take care of himself, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Coach Matt. You really provided a lot of techniques that either I just didn't consider or I needed to relook at in a way that prioritizes my own health and well being.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
yeah, absolutely. So, if the next action that you're taking is a walk over the weekend, what day will you achieve that?
I'm gonna make that twice a week. I can easily do it on a
Okay.
weekend and then a weekday.
Yeah, we have a
With there,
couple of weekdays left prior to the
yeah,
weekend.
there's still being a little bit more daylight before it gets fall. I think I can go on a walk between the hours of 4:30 and 5:30.
Yeah.
I don't think that's not
Which days? Which days are you going to do that this week?
Friday and Saturday are right next to each other. So I think those are probably my best days.
Yeah, yeah. Would any kind of support or accountability be helpful in that? Or you think
Um Probably, yeah. Maybe someone just reminding me that the day of that I'm supposed to take my walk. It's like, hey, just encourage you to take your walk today. It's Friday. I know you want to do it once a week.
yeah.
Just like a brief email or something, as like a brief reminder.
Would you mind if I played that accountability partner for you?
Yeah, I will. I love for you to do that, Coach Matt. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, with that said, I think you're in a good place to move forward
Thank you.
in um, in a sense where you can improve your mental health through this really tough time at work.
Appreciate it, Coach Matt. I think you did a really great job with being very attentive to my concerns. Your feedback was very valuable and you really cared. To me, it seemed like um, you really know what I'm going through, and not everyone can really say that or be able to identify that, and that means a lot to me. You did provide me with questions that really made me think hardly about kind of where I'm at in my life and kind of the things that I needed to start making as a priority to make sure I'm just healthier, you know.
Yeah,
Um, Especially, I feel like the job's not always everything. So just being able to look at my life on my longevity and making sure that's a priority, or else I won't be able to do the thing I'm called to do, which is to help support and educate others.
yeah,
So thank you. You've answered all my questions, and I think you took the time to really be patient with me and really help me challenge me to figure things out in ways that I'm not always fully able to express. So thank you so much, Coach Matt.
glad to help. Glad to help. Uh, moving into more specific questions on your feedback, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Um, did you feel understood and heard?
Yes, I feel like throughout the entire time I felt understood and heard. I didn't
Yeah,
feel any type of forced questions that made me ever uncomfortable or unsafe or unwelcomed.
yeah.
Everything you did felt very supportive. Supportive.
Were there moments where I appeared to make assumptions about what you were going through?
Not that I really recall of. I know that our previous sessions, I was able to share a little bit more of kind of the work that I do. So I
Mhm.
think you were able to kind of provide me with some correlation, and I think I shared with you my hobbies and things like that. So you were able to have me bring that back to the center of who I am. So no, I felt fine. I didn't feel that at all.
Okay. Um, was there anything else that you wish I had asked?
I don't know. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Why am I very stubborn in my ways?
Mhm.
Why do I keep repeating the cycle? That's
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Where else does that show up in your life? That's my favorite one.
It bleeds through in my personal life as well. I don't know. I think I have to make some changes here that way it doesn't bleed in other places. But I think I have to kind of I have to stop being, I guess, prideful, I guess,
Yeah.
stubborn.
Do you do you think I gave you enough time to answer questions before I jumped into the next?
Yeah, I think you allowed me. The questions you asked were very peaceful. I was able to really think and ponder the question
Mhm.
before I gave a response.
Okay. Good. Well, thank you for that feedback. Um,
I
and
felt
reflecting on it for myself. Oh, the types of questions that were easy to ask for me. Uh, Obviously, the clarifying and questions that elicit information. I really enjoy the thought provoking questions, but the challenging questions I can ask them well usually. However, it feels like I'm leading. So I actually like there's a part of me that wants to make sure that I'm not leading you to what I think is the right answer, but trying to get you there. And so there were a few times where within the thought provoking, I jumped into a couple of different lines of questioning around whether it's prioritization or what you typically do for yourself, right? What to try to test the water and see which way it was, but I was trying to be very careful not to direct you to okay, this is what you need to do, right? And I found that difficult to I mean to not just solve the problem for you because that's what I typically do is
no, you're
solve the
good.
problem.
I think as a client, um, I didn't always have the way. I didn't always have the words to express what my immediate concern or frustration was. So I
Yeah,
think I needed those questions to help me really go deep and exactly kind of provide a more direct response.
yeah. But do you think that they may have unintentionally led you towards a preferred answer?
I think as a client, I f- I had I didn't want to share. There's a part of the question that you asked that I just didn't feel like I wanted to share. But I'm not
Mm,
sure if that's because I didn't want to tell myself the truth out loud.
mm,
So it wasn't that the question that you asked made me uncomfortable. It was just that I didn't want to tell the truth of why I was burning out. Like I didn't want to. I don't know how to even explain it. I didn't want to come to the factual thing of why I was dealing with what I was doing.
yeah,
I wanted to be stuck in my own mud, and I just
yeah.
wanted to complain about it. I didn't really want help.
Unfortunately, that's not what a coaching conversation is about, Jacques. I'll hear you.
Asking for help
So,
is okay. I don't like
yeah,
that.
but we're gonna make at least a little bit of path forward. How do you think? Like, was that more about yourself and not wanting to be vulnerable, in the moment, or was that more that I wasn't giving you the psychological safety to where you felt like you could share that?
I felt safe. So let's say it's the first one. I just didn't want to be wrong. I
Okay.
didn't have felt pressured with any of your questions, or I never felt like, oh, if this was too much to me, then I think I would have reflected or said, hey, I just don't feel comfortable. I would have probably used some type of word or verbiage to be like, hey, I'm just not ready to tackle this part right now. Can we move to something?
Yeah. Awesome.
But I'll send you the transcript and video of this.
Thank you. I appreciate
Um
that.
yes, I will do that.
And thanks again for taking the extra time to make me feel special.
I love you, bro. You're my guy.
I appreciate you so much, so much. And I'll text you on Friday and on Saturday.
Yeah. No, this may take a couple minutes to officially come up on my dashboard. So
Oh,
as soon as that's done, I'll send it to you as a text message. And then can you do me a favor? Can you send me your email one more time? That way you can also get it through email as well.
sure. I'll text you. I'll text you with my personal email.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Thank you, Jacques. We'll talk soon.
Whatever. Take
Bye.
care.